Here are some of the Harmonist wool bonnets. They're very similar to each other. They're all knitted, and it's kind of what you would expect from a communal society, being very similar to each other. They're pretty much all the same pattern. They change the colorways somewhat, but that would be worn in the winter months to keep your head and neck warm. Here we have some men's winter hats. There's different types of them, but they're all velvet. This one I think is cotton velvet. There's a little tassel on top, but it has folded back brim. These have flaps that cover the ears and behind the neck. You can see the remnants of the ties. They're silk ribbons. This one sort of seems like crushed velvet. It's a little faded, but it also has the ear flaps to keep your ears warm. There's also short caps. These are knitted caps for men, and they're really moth-eaten through the years, but this one looks like it's wool. There's actually a black rim around the bottom, and it's kind of decorative. This cap is knitted silk, and it actually tied on with a ribbon. It's very moth-eaten. You can see the decoration on the edge, very pretty. And it also has nice decorative decreasing stitches and a nice little silk tassel. We have these interesting stocking caps for men. They're really long, but I think these stocking caps are a lot like the ones that were worn in the 18th century when a man would take off his wig and need to stay warm, especially in drafty environments. Here are two collars that are knitted. They would often have collars and cuffs that were basted on to the dresses in order to keep them cleaner. These are ones that could have been put on the dress during the winter months. But you can also see basting thread still on this wool collar. This larger collar looks to be like it was just worn around the neck. And it has a fastener, I think, at one corner. But these very much are similar to the Harmonist wool bonnets. The colors are very similar. It's always fun just to peek inside one of the textile boxes. And this one has all sorts of things to wear on your hands. There's a man's glove and some mittens. Those mittens are Harmonist. I'm not sure about the glove. And there's these little wristlets that would keep your hands warm, but you can still use your fingers. Like if you were cold in the house and you needed your hands to be warm, but you still needed to be able to sew or something like that, read a book. And then these are women's gloves that are also Harmonist. Here's some stockings that would keep you warm in the winter time. The Harmony Society had such pretty socks. They had one specialty here was they made socks, knitted socks on a machine. But we have a lot of socks in the collection, and they are marked with the date, the year I should say, and their initials. Just fancy, fancy for a communal group. These are neat stockings. These stockings say FK 1840. I like to show these off. These stockings were made out of all sorts of different ends of yarn, and it's a pair, even though they don't completely match, but they were worn a lot. You can tell by this patching. Look at all this patching. They've got patches on top of patches. This is cloth that they wove here at Economy also, and just tons of patches. But we don't know who these belong to, but it says FRM. Here we have a cape. It's a long cape. It's about 4 or 5 feet long. This is what you see some of our docents wearing when you're on tour in the winter. This is wool, and you can see it's lined in a fuzzier green wool. You know, you've seen how dark everything is, and it's hard to see on the camera. So I thought I would show you this. It's a silk velvet cape, a little capelet for a woman with silk fringe. It's voided velvet, and that is made by the Harmony Society here in Economy. Beautiful pattern, different colored dots in the little black scrolls, and it is lined with silk also.